I think they'll...
So if we can have our pairs without masks, keep doing slower for the moment. And if we can have our pairs with masks, just give a salute and then we'll start doing a little bit faster so you guys can see a little contrast.
They speed up.
So indicate your hits really clear, guys. Ooh, I cut across Aaron's belly over here on my left. Nice thrust to the face. So to get an idea of people on the floor here, Aaron, who's got the big tuft of hair sticking out the back of his mask, he's of second rank in our school. There's 5 ranks. Over here to my right, Jennifer and Aaron are also of the second rank. And everybody else, and Justin as well, who's fighting over there. He's in the white shirt with the long black hair. He is of second rank as well, just got his second rank. And everybody else is up there. Montana's also his second rank over to my left, maybe facing Aaron. And the others are of the first rank. Now we also practice wrestling in our school, knife work. A lot of fights, especially when you get the higher level fighting, if you get very close to somebody, it's important to know how to deal with somebody who might try to kick you or punch you or do other sort of mean things. The blade can be grasped. Again, it's not so sharp that it's going to cut your hand unless it moves in your hand.
No, that's his green coat there, so yeah.
Now the Rapier is all about efficiency, so you see a lot of the movements are quite small. Sometimes we're doing demos, we make them a little bit broader, a little bit bigger so people can see them more easily. Obviously footwork's an important part of working with the Rapier as well. Yeah, Aaron just indicated that his hand got cut off. So if you've got your hand out there and a cut comes in slashing against it, it's probably going to hurt a lot.
Yeah, he's and they have sodium and gouge as well.
Anybody bring any secondaries? Secondaries. Okay. Those who brought some secondaries. If you didn't, just keep fighting. Those who did, go and grab them. So we also, as you progress in the ranks, we fight not just a single rapier, we also fight with rapier and dagger. So the dagger was a very popular offhand weapon in the period. So you'll see, actually, if you guys, maybe Jennifer and Eric, if you guys can go a little bit more over to the front, maybe I'll get you guys to trade places with Jordan and Arnie. There we go. So you're going to see 2 different groups here.
Oh, yeah.
Aaron and Jennifer are going to do some slower with rapier and dagger, and Aaron is going to be totally out-arming Montana there. So you can see that the dagger adds a lot of speed and a lot of control for the fight. Now the reason the dagger took over for the shield, because the shield was definitely the first defensive thing that people used, is when we got into dueling weapons where thrusting became preferred over the cut. The problem with the shield was that you would often get hit on the shield, the thrust would then glance away from it, spring off of it and hit you somewhere else. So the shield became less preferred for making defense unless it was quite large. So the dagger actually has this ability to deflect the sword aside. In fact, it is a tiny sword. So the techniques we use, a lot of what you learn about the sword, you then transfer over to using with the dagger. Now of course the other thing, just like Aaron demonstrated right on cue, is the dagger also has striking capacity. So it does allow you to add a little bit of an extra deadly aspect to your fight. Now you guys already saw when we were doing our lesson here, and when these guys are fighting, we contort our bodies a lot. It's because this is a science. This is something where we're trying to move our bodies into the optimal position for wounding with the weapons that we have, storing up our body's energy, and getting targets away from the sharp pointy things that our opponent has.
Yeah, and where we can use this is Italian.
When you guys come and work with longsword tomorrow, you'll see a little bit more upright in our postures, a little bit lazier. Yeah. So rapier posture is definitely, even though people don't think of it that way, the rapier is probably one of the most physically demanding of the weapons that we work with in the school. And certainly technically demanding, which is why it's a foundational weapon in our school. It teaches you about all the other weapons. Alright, you guys want to train partners here? So when you see everybody salutes their opponent before they begin, we actually have a salute we teach in our school. It has three components to it. We actually call out arte, which is skill, ardore, which is passion, and onore, which is honor. So honor is a very important part of the Western martial arts, the European martial arts, and that dueling was about honor and maintaining your honor. So every bit as much as was done amongst the samurai in Japan, who were very connected to their honor and often fought duels for their honor. The same is true of European nobles. So over here on my left, I think Armand got stabbed in the hand, but the hand was pinned against his face. So generally, real swords don't have nice rubber blunts on the end of them, so we consider that would have wounded all the way through his hand into his face. So our rules are the entire body is a target. We fight until one decisive wound has been struck. So, you know, a decisive stab to the pinky finger is usually ignored, but a good thrust to nearly any target in the body is good enough to end the fight. It's certainly a good cut. We do a lot of work with live sharp weapons in school, not against opponents, but against like a piece of meat, which we dress up in armor, and then we actually experiment with the weapons against them, so everybody gets a sense of how the weapon actually functions against the real thing, and then you really do know what is an effective hit and what is not. Now, I believe Arnie and Aaron switched to their left hands. And you'll probably notice Jennifer always switched right and left. She did everything with me right-handed during the our lesson today, but she's a left-handed person. Although she does so many things right-handed, I forget sometimes. I don't think she does it just for my convenience, but it is convenient. Thanks, Jennifer. Remember the medieval term for left-handed is sinister. Alright, does everybody here have sparring gear? Who's got sparring gear? Aaron, do you have your mask here? No? Jennifer, do you bring a mask? You do? Okay, why don't you put a mask on? Everybody's got sparring gear. I want you guys to get your masks on. We're going to do a little bit of a grand melee to end things out here. For others, it can just be martials, would be excellent.